We're very excited for what's ahead, Rob. We already have secured 15% or more of the world's population on our network. Just to bear in mind, China Mobile have 900 million plus users today, maybe 1.1 billion users today. The application that we are onboarding right now has up to 1.2 billion users or more. That obviously puts us in line with the largest telecommunications carrier in the world. The Minutes Network token TG is around the corner.
Could we say potentially 2025? That's not really a time frame, but could we say like?
Oh, no. We're you know, from what I'm hearing from the token team, we can expect it to be within Q1 25, absolutely. And it could even be much quicker.
Josh, that's pretty ballsy because it is March 14th. So we were coming up on the deadline of that Q1.
I will use the platform now to say that by next week, the community and everyone who follows Minutes Network will be introduced with our new monetization brand, Jingle.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. So as promised, what I want to do is do a follow-up to what I call the kingpin of D.PIN, which would be Minutes Network. So I brought a couple or three gentlemen in who can help us with that. Gentlemen, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's just do a quick intro around the block. So Jamie, real quick, who are you? How'd you find Minutes Network, and how are you working with Minutes?
Hi everybody, my name is Jamie King. I was introduced to Josh and the Minutes team actually through Omri. I have a background mainly in video games. I've then been very interested in Web3 and blockchain for like, I'd say the last 2 years. And I was blown away when I met Josh and everyone at Minutes Network, and I understood what was being done in terms of bridging, you know, telecoms and the blockchain. So it was, I fell in love at first sight, should we say.
Yeah, sounds really good. And then, of course, we'll bring up Josh Watkins, co-founder.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Jamie, for the kind words. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you again for inviting us up. Fantastic to have such a wonderful team on board, such as Jamie, Omri, and the rest of the team. We're making significant progress, and I'm looking forward to tell you about that progress during this show. Gotcha.
And then, Josh, you are founder of Minutes Network, or co-founder, I believe.
Yes. I'm founder, co-founder of Minutes Network. That's correct.
Gotcha. And then that'll lead us to our last one. So, and at least Omri, tell us.
Hi. Thank you, Rob.
Yes.
So I'm heading the commercial endeavors at Minutes Network for the past 5 to 6 months. I've known Josh and the Watkins brothers for almost 20 years now. We've gone through multiple tech endeavors altogether. Been an amazing ride. And I've known Minutes Network from its earlier days, and grateful to be invited by Josh to join the team and head the commercial endeavors in the company. My background goes for the last 20 years as a tech entrepreneur, early stage investors, and multiple startups. Been around the block of tech for a while.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, that is definitely needed in this industry. That is for sure. So, gents, let's do this. Good intro. Let's talk about exactly what Minutes Network is and do a quick overview. Now, we had talked about this roughly a year ago where we did the deep dive. I will link that in the description. Everybody can check out what Minutes Network is, why I think it can be a very big thing, and then everything in between. So if I'll just have Josh, because we were on last time. Josh, just do me a favor. Give us a quick overview of what Minutes Network is and what it's trying to accomplish.
I would love to, Rob. So we are a new age telecommunications operator and carrier, and we provide telecommunications operators and carriers around the world with the ability to terminate their calls, that's connect their calls, at a much lower rate than they were previously paying to terminate and connect their calls. This allows for operator profit reinvigoration and revenue reinvigoration. And carriers are reaching out from far and wide to work with us because they simply cannot get the opportunity in terms of price that we're offering anywhere else in the market today.
Gotcha. And then real quick, just how does that actually work? How does that happen to connect people? Because I remember the last time that we talked, it was all about partnering up with the apps, putting lines of code within the app, and have people use those apps to actually to have those calls connected. Is that still the same thing here?
That's correct. We also cater for value-added services. We have an exchange up and coming, but I won't detail that on this show today. As it stands, we are onboarding application partners, that's Android and iOS applications, and we onboard all of their user base in one swoop. Okay, what does that mean? We give them a piece of audited code as a plugin to integrate into their existing application. And we are subsequently able to access all of their users via our Minutes Network platform, via the switch nodes provided by Minutes Network Token and the validation nodes provided by Minutes Network Token. Once we're able to access any integrated or onboarded users, we are simply able to bridge carriers' calls using Mintex technology. And this is technology that we've created over the last number of years. It's actually working and running now. It's not something that the industry's seen before, and it's a massive bridge in terms of the existing divide in the legacy industry of telecommunications.
Gotcha. Okay, well said. So thank you for that information. That makes a little bit more sense for everybody who hasn't seen the original video. But let's talk about, because that was a year ago, and things have changed. There's a little bit of shift. So what's been happening during this time? Like I always talk about here on the channel, pay attention to the projects that build in the bear because they'll crush it in the bull. And you guys have been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. What I'd like to do is just kind of go around the block here and just ask, what's been happening behind that. And what we'll do is, Jamie, if we could start with you, then we'll go to Omri, and then we'll go back to Josh, and we can, because everybody has their own little cog in the wheel of what they actually do. So Jamie, real quick, what's been happening as far as building with Minutes?
Yeah, so I mean, I focus on the marketing, and I've been with the company now coming on 6 months. I've been working very hard in the background and really focused on our infrastructure and how we are set up. Clearly, we have a lot of very big events and exciting times ahead of us, and it's been really for me to focus on integrating with the team, really understanding all the various forms of the technology and how we provide value, and then really thinking through both I'm always into a two-speed approach of that longer term top of funnel brand awareness, brand building, to then more immediate short term bottom of the funnel, faster speed marketing. I think it's really interesting when I look at the entire tech stack and the brands that we have, and Minutes Network and Minutes Network Token, and our plugin for mobile applications, and how we really cross the spectrum of both B2B and then B2C. And so, yeah, we've been toiling hard in the background, really making sure that our foundations are solid. We have clear plans and vision for the immediate and longer term future. And now we're getting to a place where I think a lot of what I've been doing and what we've been doing is perhaps not evident so clearly to the community, but I think that will change very soon. And we're going to have a pace and a cadence where there'll be a lot more marketing activations and energy that is easily seen, should I say.
Gotcha. So really what it sounds like it comes down to is, as we're building, the marketing will ramp up as we get to the big events moving forward.
Absolutely. I think, we're very clear about not wasting any money, how easy it is to spend, a load of money without really thinking through your positioning, your messaging, and really understanding who are you trying to talk to. I think we're very mindful and respectful of what we've achieved so far. And we're very laser focused on using a scalpel as opposed to a sledgehammer, so that we're optimizing the efficacy and the value of any marketing activations that we do. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to work a lot with the community, and we've got lots of really cool stuff planned.
So I don't think you're trying to save dollars, which is pretty good, very prudent for any business. Maybe you have your own Doge, or maybe you call it DOME, the Department of Minutes Efficiency, and that would work out pretty well for you.
Yeah,
all right. Doge. So Omri, Building on that same theme, where are we at here as far as like in your section for building for minutes? Where are we at?
So it's really an exciting ride on this side of the water. We've been basically busy taking the tremendous technology that was designed by Josh and the team for years and really shape it and wrap it as a value proposition that we can then commercially scale in the market. We are now in the famous first segment of the adoption in the famous Gauss Bell graph, where we've been introducing our technology and the overall value proposition to a set of some dozens of mobile applications of different categories. I would say some of which are extremely renowned and famous, and basically see how our value proposition resonates with them. And of course, stepping forwards towards commercial engagement. We now have various stages of progress, some of which are imminent, with a really, like I said, a handful of apps. Josh and the team are doing great on updating the community on our progress. For me specifically, it's just been exciting in the sense of taking Minutes Network value proposition in the form of a new monetization technology and engine, in fact, which from my background in the industry is no less than a necessity. The mobile application space has been around for a long time, yet there are still only 3 main common monetization methods, all of which are affecting the user, the end user, in one shape or form. So for us, being able to bring into the table not just I would say a rewarding monetization method, but one that is completely seamless and transparent to the end user, that is no less to a game changer in the mobile application space. And me and my team's endeavors have been focused on, let's take this whole big technology and make it accessible to these mobile applications, who again come from different market categories. It can be gaming, can be fintech, food delivery, and whatnot. And we're just getting started.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so that would bring us last up to Josh, so not least, and just talk about, again, because you've been there for, you have to oversee everything, Josh. So where are we at here as far as what's been building? And of course, there's been a lot of things going on in a year or so.
Well, we're very excited for what's ahead, Rob. We already have secured 15% or more of the world's population on our network, and we're working with our application partners as it stands currently to integrate those users. Just to bear in mind, China Mobile have 900 million plus users today, maybe 1.1 billion users today. The application that we are onboarding right now has up to 1.2 billion users or more. That obviously puts us in line with the largest telecommunications carrier in the world. And we expect to be the de facto largest telecommunications carrier in the world by user base in an extremely record-breaking amount of time. And the reason that we expect to reach this stage so quickly is because of the technology that we're using to onboard our users. It's significantly different than entering the market with a new telecommunications company and trying to advertise to reach billions of users. Obviously, that could cost tens of billions of dollars. In a saturated market today, there's no competition. It's impossible to compete. I wouldn't say impossible, but I wouldn't like to be competing against these major carriers for a place in the market and to attract the users that they're attracting. As I said, it's very expensive in terms of advertising, and it's a legacy model. So today, we're working with the Mintech suite of technologies that we've built, specifically the SDK, Minutes Network SDK. We'll tell you a bit more about the naming structure on that shortly. And we're taking that to application partners and potential application partners, having them onboard it into their existing application, and we're onboarding their users in reverse. So we obtain large amounts, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, or billions of users all at once. And that's where I say the imminent scale is ahead. We have a number of applications already signed up. We have a number of applications pending to sign up. Some of those applications that we already have signed up have more than 1.2 billion users as well. There are announcements around the corner on these applications, and we're excited to see the scale and monetization of these users take place, and it's very, very close ahead.
Excellent. Well said. You know, and talking about partners, I remember when we had talked about World Mobile, sounds like it. And then this is the one that we couldn't talk about when we were in the very first initial one. Is Sue still a partner? Are you guys still integrating with them or no?
SEW is under a close integration model. We are integrating with SEW as it stands, and they are about to bring a large amount of users into our network on the first leg of the integration. It's literally up ahead. They are a good friend of ours. They're an interconnection. You could call them a partner because they're an interconnection, but actually speaking, they are an interconnection, and they're connected to maybe 400 of the world's, more than 400 of the world's largest telecommunications carriers, which we inherit traffic from. We send traffic to our network for termination over our user base. We are also interconnected by proxy to the 400 plus carriers that they're interconnected to. Connection, a partner is a type of interconnection, but strictly speaking, they are an interconnection.
Yeah, and great. That's fantastic. That's a lot of people that you guys are gunning for. And it sounds like you're already in talks so far.
It's a lot of people, and the minutes, well, they're billed by second, but in the industry, they're known as minutes. They're very, very valuable, depending on where the people are, depending on, where the user base is coming from. Some countries are up to $1 a minute, 70, 80 cents a minute for termination, while some countries are 1/10 of a cent per minute. We have a partner program rolling out with IDT. I can't name the application today, but there's a very special rollout in place right now. And again, it's currently being integrated. They're doing the last dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's on their side. But we're very excited for what's up ahead with IDT and the rest of the carriers. And you can expect in the near future reams of application partners to be announced as we grow the network, as we scale the network. The activity will directly be visible on the Explorer, and we always post partnership and interconnections announcements on our socials.
Yeah, fantastic. So well said, everybody. Thank you for giving that little background. That's a big stuff. So now, as we move forward, we're talking about the build. We talk about where we've been. Now let's talk about where we're going, and that will be, of course, the TGE timeframe. So as time has gone on, this is probably the number one question I get. People are excited about it. People know what's at stake. I think in the deep dive video, we talked about the telecommunications industry as far as connections. You're looking at a $251 billion plus industry and growing. And for me, I look at that and I said, well, there's something that's ripe for disruption, especially like what you just said, Josh. $1 per minute, that's robbery. And of course, if we can get away from that into a sharing environment, great. Can you guys talk about, go ahead, Josh.
No, right. So not all of the carriers are priced at $1 a minute. There's different prices for different carriers in different countries on the different networks. It's all scenario based and circumstantial, dependent upon the country and integrating application and upon the carrier's traffic that's being delivered to the network. The rates do go up to about $1 a minute. As I said, satellite is beyond $1 a minute. We're not currently working with that, but we will be in the near future. So yes, indeed. Lots and lots of revenue to be generated. This is a new innovative concept in the industry of telecommunications, and I am excited to deliver a large amount of users. The best is certainly yet to come, and what's ahead has not been done before. So yes, extremely excited and on the edge of my seat watching the scale live.
Yeah. It is good to create. It is good to help, and it is good to actually get outside with something new. So I can appreciate that. So let's talk about the TGE timeframe. And of course, this is open for everybody. I get a lot of questions about this. I get a lot of questions about where things are going. So where are we in that time frame to actually really kick this off into this sharing economy?
The Minutes Network token TGE is around the corner. We cannot give an official date, or the Minutes Network token team cannot give an official date until the listing partner gives a date. Once we have that date, it will be immediately communicated. What we don't expect is for it to take too much more time.
So let's say, could we say potentially 2025? That's not really a time frame, but could we say like?
Oh, no, no,
within
no,
this
no.
year?
We're, you know, from what I'm hearing from the token team, we can expect it to be within Q1 25, absolutely. And it could even be much quicker. I'm waiting for a notification to pop up right now. You know, similarly, I'm waiting for a scaling notification to pop up as well. So as I said, I'm on my edge of the seat with the announcements ahead, and we're very excited to communicate these announcements to the public and to our partners.
Josh, that's pretty ballsy because it is March 14th. So we were coming up on the deadline of that Q1.
Time is very precious, and a lot happens, you know, in time. I was told by someone I believe to be a great man once that time is only existent to stop everything happening at once.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty great way to look at things. All right. So before we take off, first of all, thanks guys for stopping by. Any other things that we should be know about with Minutes Network and things that are coming up, or just to talk about anything that you guys think are more relevant? And we'll go around the block again. Jamie, I'm going to start with you. What do we have as far as like anything that you really wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I think the community will start noticing changes across our Discord. I think the community will start seeing our content marketing, and obviously the community will start seeing, you know, these partnerships and integrations roll out, and it's going to be really exciting. And I can't wait. I'll be having a slightly more interactive relationship with our community, and I'm really looking forward. We've got fabulous supporters who've been there from day one, and we're going to have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots coming.
Good things on the horizon. All right. And then Omri, anything we missed that you want to throw in there? Oh, sorry, Omri, you're muted, which I appreciate when people mute themselves because it doesn't have to cause echo. So thank you.
Yeah. So I will use the platform to share that as part of our commercial endeavors and engagement with applications, as Josh mentioned. One of the core decisions we've made is to build our own brand for our monetization technology, which, as everyone knows on the community, is just now a part of the MinTech technology suite and our node infrastructure. So as Josh hinted it out before on previous AMAs, I will use the platform now to say that by next week, the community and everyone who follows Minutes Network will be introduced with our new monetization brand, Jingle. And this is the actual brand that is carrying the value proposition of monetization for mobile applications. So we will be doing a proper announcement, launch our digital assets, and it'll make another channel and area of focus for everyone to follow.
Excellent. Jingle, something to watch for. And then Josh, last thing, anything we want to throw in there before we take off?
Yes. Just sort of taking from what Henri added there. Jingle is an extremely important component in our rollout of the collection of users and scale in general. Obviously, the more users we have on board the network, the larger the scale. Therefore, you know, the more minutes terminated and the more revenue generated. And that obviously has some effect on the buybacks that Minutes Network does as well. This being said, we will be going out with a major advertising campaign in order to ensure that Jingle is known amongst the monetization world and monetization industry as an add-on or an additional path to additional revenue for applications out there, for application developers, for application owners, to sort of create a revenue stream that they would have never previously had. So we'll be advertising Jingle everywhere. You can expect to see that, you know, on multiple sources and multiple monetization platforms in the near future ahead.
Excellent. Wow. Crypto project with real utility and a plan. That's crazy. Anyhow,
we need the real utility, Rob, because without the real utility, it's just cycling of fees in crypto like everybody else. And we're not here to do that. We're here to create new revenue. And you know, via the advanced sharing economy that's been rolled out with Minutes Network token, I think it's something that hasn't been seen before in the world of blockchain. And might I just add, we won't only be the largest telecommunications carrier in the world by user base, we will also be the largest Web3 platform in the world by user base as soon as some of our next integrations have completed. And some of them are around the corner from completion right now. So let's see what's up ahead.
Awesome. So everybody, thanks for coming in and explaining all those things. Everybody, if you're looking for the original video where we talked about and give a overview of what minutes is, there'll be a link in the description for the kingpin of DePIN, as I call it. And then we'll go from there. So gents, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and we'll have you on again, especially if we can actually get that TGE, which sounds pretty close. But anyhow, that's it for today, everybody. So thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Links in the description. Catch you guys in the next one.
Thanks for your time, bro. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.